There is someone you love. You have loved them for months, maybe years. They do not know. You have never said the words. You have never even come close. You smile when they walk into the room. You memorize the way they laugh. You notice things about them that no one else sees. The way they tap their fingers when they are thinking. The way their voice changes when they talk about something they care about. The way they look at the world like they are seeing something beautiful that everyone else is missing. You know their coffee order. You know their favorite song. You know the exact moment their mood shifts from fine to not fine. You see them. Fully. Deeply. In a way that terrifies you. Because seeing someone like that is not casual. It is not friendship. It is something else. Something bigger. Something that sits in your chest like a weight you carry everywhere. You imagine saying it. 1,000 times you have imagined it. You play the scene in your head. The moment. The words. The look on their face. Sometimes in your imagination, they say it back. Sometimes they smile and everything changes and the weight finally lifts. But most of the time, in your imagination, they hesitate. They look confused. They say something kind but devastating. I did not know. I do not feel the same way. I do not want to lose you as a friend. And that version, the version where you lose them, feels more real than the version where you get them. So you do not say it. You carry it. You love them in silence. You love them from a distance they will never see. You love them in the space between what is and what could be. And that space is killing you. Slowly. Quietly. In a way no one else will ever understand. Because how do you explain this? How do you tell someone that you are in love with a person who does not know you are in love with them? How do you describe the specific pain of hiding the most important feeling you have ever had? How do you make someone understand that you think about this person constantly, dream about this person, plan your days around the possibility of seeing this person, and yet you have never touched them, never kissed them, never heard them say your name the way you want them to say it? You cannot. So you do not. You keep it inside. You carry it alone. You love in secret. And the secret is eating you alive. But here is what nobody tells you. You are not alone in this. Right now, somewhere in the world, someone else is doing exactly what you are doing. Sitting across from the person they love. Pretending they do not. Laughing at their jokes while dying inside. Going home alone and replaying every word, every glance, every moment that felt like maybe, just maybe, they felt it too. This is not rare. This is not unusual. This is one of the most common and least talked about experiences in human psychology. Unrequited love that is never spoken. Love that exists entirely in the mind of the person feeling it. Love that has no witness except the person carrying it. And today, I am going to show you why you cannot say it. Not because I want to keep you stuck, but because once you understand the psychology, once you see what is actually happening inside you, you can finally decide what to do with it. Because right now, you are not deciding. You are trapped. Trapped between wanting them and fearing the truth. Trapped between hope and hopelessness. Trapped in a story you keep telling yourself about why silence is safer than speaking. And that story is a lie. A lie your brain constructed to protect you. But the protection has become a prison. Let me show you how. The first reason you cannot say it is the oldest reason in human history. Fear of rejection. But not the rejection you think. You are not afraid they will say no. You are afraid of what their no will mean. Because right now, in this moment, before you have said anything, the possibility still exists. Maybe they love you too. Maybe they are just waiting for you to say it first. Maybe every kind word, every smile, every late-night conversation means what you hope it means. The possibility is alive. And as long as the possibility is alive, so is the hope. But the moment you speak, the moment you confess, the possibility collapses into reality. And reality is binary. They feel the same, or they do not. And you already know, deep down, which one is more likely. If they felt the same, you would know. You would feel it. There would be signs. But the signs are not there, or they are vague enough to be misread, or they exist only in your interpretation. And so you wait. You wait for certainty that will never come. You wait for them to say it first so you do not have to risk anything. You wait for a sign so clear that speaking feels safe. But that sign never arrives. And while you wait, the love grows heavier. The secret grows louder. And you become a ghost in your own life. Present but not participating. Close but never connected. Loving someone who does not even know they are loved. This is the first trap. The belief that silence protects you from pain. But silence is its own pain. A slower pain. A quieter pain. A pain that does not end because it is never confronted. You think rejection would destroy you. But this slow suffocation, this endless waiting, this loving without being able to love, this is destroying you, just in a way you have gotten used to. The second reason you cannot say it is even more insidious. You have built an entire fantasy around this person, and that fantasy is perfect. In your mind, you have already dated them. You have already kissed them. You have already had the conversations you will never actually have. You have imagined lazy Sunday mornings and inside jokes and the way they would look at you if they knew. You have written an entire relationship in your head, and it is beautiful. It is everything you have ever wanted. It is safe, because in your fantasy, they never disappoint you. They never misunderstand you. They never fail to meet your expectations. They are perfect. Not because they are actually perfect, but because you control the narrative. You have made them into exactly who you need them to be. And you are terrified that the real version, the version you would get if you actually spoke, would shatter the fantasy. What if they say yes, but the relationship is not what you imagined? What if they have flaws you did not account for? What if the reality of being with them is nothing like the dream of being with them? What if you have spent years loving an idea of a person who does not actually exist? This fear is paralyzing, because it means that even if they say yes, you could still lose. You could still be disappointed. You could still end up heartbroken. So you keep them in the fantasy. You keep the love hypothetical. You keep the relationship imaginary, because imaginary cannot hurt you. Imaginary is under your control. Imaginary is safe, but imaginary is also empty, and you are starving. The third reason is the one nobody wants to admit. You are addicted to the longing. You do not just love this person. You love the feeling of loving this person. The ache, the yearning, the bittersweet pain of wanting someone you cannot have. There is something almost romantic about it. Something tragic and beautiful. You are the protagonist in your own unrequited love story. And that story has given your life meaning. It has given you something to think about, something to feel, something that makes you feel alive even when it is killing you. You have spent so long in this state that you do not know who you are without it. You do not know what you would think about if you were not thinking about them. You do not know what you would feel if you were not feeling this. The longing has become your identity, and confessing would end the longing. Either they say yes, and the yearning is replaced with reality, or they say no, and the yearning is replaced with grief. Either way, the longing ends, and you are not ready for it to end, because the longing, as painful as it is familiar. It is yours. It is the one thing you have control over, and letting it go feels like letting go of a part of yourself, even if that part is suffering, even if that part is keeping you stuck. Even if that part is preventing you from actually living. This is the addiction. Not to the person, to the pain of wanting them. And like all addictions, it feels impossible to quit. The fourth reason is the deepest. And it is the one that will hurt to hear. You do not believe you are enough. You do not believe that if they truly knew you, truly saw you, they would choose you. So you stay hidden. You stay safe. You give them the edited version. The version that laughs at the right times and says the right things and never reveals the depth of what you actually feel, because the depth feels too much, too intense, too vulnerable. You are afraid that your love is too big, that it would scare them. that it would overwhelm them, that they would look at you and see desperation instead of devotion. So, you shrink it, you hide it, you pretend you feel less than you do, and in doing so, you deny them the chance to love you back. Not the edited version. The real version. The version that feels everything. The version that loves deeply. The version that is worthy of being loved in return. But you do not give them that chance, because you have already decided for them. You have already written the ending. And in that ending, you are not enough. In that ending, they choose someone else. Someone easier. Someone lighter. Someone who does not love as hard as you do. And maybe you are right. Maybe they would choose someone else. But maybe you are wrong. Maybe the thing you think is too much is exactly what they have been looking for. Maybe your depth is not a flaw, but a gift. Maybe the love you are hiding is the love they need. But you will never know, because you are too afraid to find out. So let me tell you what happens if you never say it. You will watch them live their life. You will watch them date other people. You will watch them fall in love with someone who is not you. You will smile and support them because that is what friends do. And inside, you will die a little more each time. You will wonder what if. You will replay every moment and ask yourself if there was ever a chance. You will grow old, carrying a love that no one ever knew existed. And one day, maybe at a wedding, maybe at a funeral, maybe in a random conversation years from now, you will realize that the moment has passed, that the window closed, that the chance you never took is gone forever. And you will have to live with that. Not the pain of rejection, the pain of never knowing, the pain of choosing silence and wondering for the rest of your life if speaking would have changed everything. That pain is worse than rejection. That pain is permanent. So, here is what I want you to do. Not today, not tomorrow, but soon. I want you to say it. Not perfectly, not in some grand romantic gesture. Just honestly, I need to tell you something. I have feelings for you. More than friendship. I do not know if you feel the same. But I cannot keep pretending I do not feel this. That is it. No speech. No explanation. No apology. Just the truth. And then you wait. You let them respond. You let them process. You give them space to feel whatever they feel. And yes, they might say no. They might say they do not feel the same. They might say it changes things. And that will hurt. It will hurt so much. But it will also end. The hurt of rejection has a lifespan. The hurt of silence does not. Or they might say yes. They might say they have been feeling the same thing. They might say they were waiting for you to say something. They might say the words you have been imagining for months. And your life changes. Right there. In that moment. The fantasy becomes real. The secret becomes shared. The love you have been carrying alone finally has a place to go. But here is the most important part. Even if they say no, even if they do not feel the same, even if it hurts and you lose them and you spend weeks crying and questioning everything, you will survive. You will grieve. You will heal. And you will be free. Free from the weight of the secret. Free from the prison of silence. Free from the endless cycle of hoping and hiding and hurting. You will have your answer. And answers, even painful ones, are better than living in questions. So stop waiting. Stop hoping they will say it first. Stop protecting yourself from pain that is already happening. Say it. Say it scared. Say it imperfectly. Say it knowing you might lose. But say it, because loving someone in secret is not love. It is longing. And longing is not enough. Not for them. And not for you. You deserve to be loved out loud. You deserve to have your feelings witnessed. You deserve to stop hiding. So take the risk. Speak the truth. and let whatever happens next happen. Because anything is better than this. Anything is better than loving someone who does not even know they are loved. You have been brave enough to feel this. Now be brave enough to say it. The person you love deserves to know, and you deserve to finally be free.